Cosmic collision. The vast emptiness of space stretched endlessly before Captain Jake Martinez as he piloted the Stargazer, Earth's most advanced long-range explorer. His mission: to chart the unexplored regions of the Andromeda Galaxy. Little did he know, this routine survey would change the course of human history forever. Captain's log, stardate 215743. Jake spoke into the ship's recorder. Day 378 of the Andromeda expedition. Still no signs of intelligent life, but the quantum scanners are picking up some interesting energy signatures from a nearby planet. As Jake guided the stargazer towards the uncharted world, a brilliant flash of light suddenly erupted from the planet's surface. Before he could react, an unknown force yanked the ship from its trajectory, sending it hurtling towards the mysterious planet below. "Mayday! Mayday!" Jake shouted, frantically working the controls. "This is Captain Martinez of the Earth vessel Stargazer. I've lost control and I'm going down." The ship plummeted through the alien atmosphere, alarms blaring as the hull temperature skyrocketed. Jake gritted his teeth, using every ounce of his piloting skills to maintain some semblance of control. With a bone-jarring impact, the Stargazer crashed into the planet's surface, skidding across purple sand before coming to a smoking halt. Silence fell, broken only by the hiss of escaping air and the crackle of damaged equipment. Jake groaned, checking himself for injuries. Miraculously, he seemed mostly intact, thanks to the ship's advanced safety systems. "Computer status report," he croaked, unbuckling his harness. "Hull integrity at 62%. Life support systems operational. Communications array offline. Engines non-functional," the A's calm voice replied. Jake cursed under his breath. He was stranded on an unknown planet, light years from any human outpost. As the gravity of his situation sank in, a movement outside the viewport caught his eye. Something was approaching the ship. Heart pounding, Jake grabbed an emergency kit and made his way to the airlock. The planet's atmosphere was breathable, according to the sensors, but who knew what other dangers lurked outside? As the airlock cycled open, Jake stepped onto alien soil for the first time. The landscape that greeted him was both familiar and utterly alien. Purple sands stretched to the horizon, dotted with crystalline formations that shimmered under the light of two suns. The sky was a swirling mix of green and gold, unlike anything Jake had ever seen. But it was the figure approaching him that truly took his breath away. She, for the being seemed undeniably female, was unlike any alien Jake had imagined in his wildest dreams. Her skin was a shimmering blue, almost translucent in the alien sunlight. Large, almond-shaped eyes of the deepest violet regarded him with a mixture of curiosity and caution. Atop her head, delicate antennae swayed gently in the breeze. Jake stood frozen, his mind reeling. First contact. After centuries of searching the stars, humanity had finally encountered an alien intelligence. And it had happened here, on this uncharted world, with him as the sole representative of his species. The alien stopped a few meters away, tilting her head as she studied Jake. Then, to his utter astonishment, she spoke. "Greetings, Star Traveler." Her voice was melodic, with an otherworldly quality that sent shivers down Jake's spine. "I am Zora of the Lizari. Welcome to Lissar Prime." Jake blinked, struggling to process what he was hearing. You speak English." Zora's antennae twitched in what Jake guessed was amusement. "I speak no language, Star Traveler. The device you wear." She gestured to the universal translator on Jake's wrist. "It bridges the gap between our minds." Jake glanced at his wrist, suddenly remembering the experimental tech he'd been field testing. It was supposed to analyze alien languages and facilitate communication, but he never dreamed it would work so seamlessly. "I'm Jake," he said, still in awe. "Jake Martinez of Earth. I'm sorry for crashing on your planet. It wasn't intentional." Zora's eyes seemed to sparkle with curiosity. "Earth, I know not of this world. You have traveled far, Jake of Earth. But your arrival is no accident. The cosmic confluence brought you here. Cosmic confluence? Jake asked, his scientific curiosity piqued despite the surreal situation. Zara gestured to the sky, where Jake now noticed a strange, swirling anomaly among the stars. A great alignment of celestial bodies occurs once every 1,000 cycles. It creates doorways between worlds. Your vessel must have been caught in its pull. Jake's mind raced with the implications. A natural phenomenon that could create wormholes. The scientific possibilities were staggering, but more pressing matters demanded his attention. My ship is damaged, he explained. I'm not sure how to repair it, especially not here. Zara's expression softened with what Jake interpreted as sympathy. The confluence's power ebbs and flows. You cannot leave until the next alignment, many cycles from now. But fear not, Jake of Earth. You are welcome among the Lizari. As if on cue, more figures emerged from behind the crystal formations. They were similar to Zara, with variations in the hues of their skin and eyes. Jake realized he was looking at an entire alien civilization, one that had evolved in complete isolation from humanity. Come, Zara said, extending a four-fingered hand towards Jake. There is much to share, much to learn. Your arrival heralds a new age for both our peoples. Jake hesitated for a moment, years of space exploration training warring with the unprecedented situation he found himself in. But as he looked into Zara's eyes, he saw not just an alien being, but a person, intelligent, curious, and offering friendship across the cosmic divide. With a deep breath, Jake took Zara's hand. It was cool to the touch, with a slight tingle that might have been bioelectricity. In that moment, as human and Lizari made first contact, the fate of two civilizations began to intertwine. Lead the way, Jake said, a mix of excitement and apprehension coursing through him. As they walked towards the crystalline structures in the distance, Jake couldn't help but feel that this was only the beginning of an extraordinary adventure. Little did either of them know just how profound their unexpected meeting would prove to be, not just for their own lives, but for the future of their entire species and the galaxy itself. Cosmic cultures collide. As Jake followed Zara towards the crystalline city of the Lizari, his mind raced with a mixture of awe and trepidation. The alien landscape shimmered with bioluminescent flora, casting an ethereal glow across the purple sands. Each step felt like a leap into the unknown, a dance between scientific discovery and potential danger. Your world is breathtaking, Jake managed, his voice filled with wonder. Zara's antennae quivered with what Jake was beginning to recognize as pleasure. And yet, it pales in comparison to the vastness of the cosmos that brought you here, Jake of Earth. As they approached the city, Jake's jaw dropped. The crystalline structures he'd seen from a distance were actually living buildings, pulsing with an inner light that seemed to respond to the presence of the Lizari. Alien technology seamlessly blended with organic architecture, creating a cityscape that defied human imagination. Welcome to Harmony Spire, Zara announced, gesturing to the towering central structure that dominated the skyline, the heart of our civilization. Jake's arrival caused quite a stir among the Lizari. Crowds of blue-skinned aliens gathered, their violet eyes wide with curiosity. Some reached out to touch him, only to be gently admonished by Zara. Forgive their enthusiasm, she said. You are the first off-worlder many of us have ever seen. As they made their way through the city, Jake's translator worked overtime, picking up snippets of conversation. Is it true? A star traveler. Look at its skin, so pale and fragile. Do you think it can breathe our air for long? Jake felt like a specimen under a microscope, but he reminded himself that to these aliens, he was just as exotic as they were to him. Zara led him to a circular chamber within Harmony Spire. The walls were lined with what looked like living computer terminals, tendrils of light snaking across their surfaces. The Council of Elders will want to meet you, Zara explained. But first, we must ensure you are not carrying any harmful pathogens. Before Jake could protest, a beam of soft light enveloped him. He felt a warm, tingling sensation throughout his body. Fascinating, a new voice said. An older Lissari, his skin a deeper shade of blue, stepped forward. Your biology is so different from ours, yet remarkably compatible with our environment. I'm Dr. Xyler, the elder Lissari introduced himself. Chief Xenobiologist of Harmony Spire, your arrival is an unprecedented opportunity for both our species to learn from each other. Jake's scientific curiosity overrode his apprehension. The feeling is mutual, Dr. Xyler. I have so many questions about your world, your technology, your biology. All in due time, Jake of Earth, Kyler chuckled. But first we must address a more pressing concern. The cosmic confluence that brought you here has also destabilized the fabric of space-time around our planet. If we cannot find a way to close the rift, both our worlds may be in grave danger. Jake's excitement turned to concern. What kind of danger are we talking about? Zara and Xyler exchanged worried glances. The rift is growing, Zara explained. If left unchecked, it could swallow entire star systems. But surely your advanced technology, Jake began, is insufficient to tackle this threat alone, Xyler finished. That is why your arrival may be providential. Perhaps a combined knowledge of our civilizations can find a solution. As if on cue, alarms began to blare throughout Harmony Spire. The living walls pulsed with urgent patterns of light. What's happening? Jake asked, his heart racing. Zara's face was grim. The rift is expanding faster than we anticipated. We're detecting massive energy surges. Suddenly, the air itself seemed to tear open. Through the shimmering breach, Jake caught glimpses of other worlds, other realities. Strange creatures and impossible landscapes flashed before his eyes. By the cosmic core, Kylo breathed. The boundaries between dimensions are collapsing. Jake's mind raced. His years of theoretical physics training kicked in. Wait, I think I might have an idea. On Earth, we've been experimenting with quantum entanglement to stabilize wormholes. If we could adapt that technology to your energy matrix. Zara's eyes widened. Yes, the harmonic resonance of our crystal tech could amplify the effect. For the next several hours, Jake found himself in a whirlwind of alien collaboration. He worked side by side with Lissari scientists, combining Earth's theoretical models with their advanced crystal technology. The language barrier melted away in the face of mathematical universal constants and shared scientific passion. As the rift continued to grow, threatening to tear their world apart, Jake and his new alien colleagues raced against time. Sweat beaded on his brow as he made calculations faster than he ever had before. Zara worked tirelessly beside him, her alien biology allowing her to interface directly with the living computers. We're ready, Zara announced finally, initiating the quantum harmonic pulse. Now. A beam of pure energy, infused with the combined genius of two civilizations, shot from Harmony Spire towards the rift. For a heart-stopping moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, with a reality-bending shudder, the tear in space-time began to close. Cheers erupted throughout the city as the danger passed. Jake found himself enveloped in a group hug by his Lissari colleagues, their cool skin a stark reminder of how far from home he truly was. As the celebration died down, Xyler approached Jake with a sullen expression. You have saved our world, Jake of Earth. But I'm afraid the energy expenditure has left us with a new problem. Our planetary shields are critically low. We are now vulnerable to the cosmic radiation storms that periodically sweep our system. Jake's heart sank. He had solved one problem only to create another. But as he looked around at the faces of his new alien friends, he felt a renewed sense of determination. Then we'll find a solution to that too, he said firmly, together. Zara placed a hand on his shoulder, her touch sending a small electric tingle through him. Together, she agreed. As Jake gazed out at the alien horizon, twin suns setting in a swirl of cosmic colors, he realized that his crash landing on this distant world might just be the beginning of humanity's greatest adventure. The path ahead was uncertain, filled with challenges and wonders beyond imagination. But with the combined ingenuity of two species, anything seemed possible. Little did Jake know that his bond with Zara and the Lizari was about to be tested in ways he could never have imagined, as forces beyond their control conspired to change the fate of not just their two worlds, but the entire galaxy. Galactic ripples. As weeks turned into months, Jake found himself fully immersed in Lizari culture. His days were filled with scientific collaboration, cultural exchange, and the thrill of discovery. But despite the wonders surrounding him, a gnawing worry persisted. Earth had no idea where he was. One evening, as the planet's 3 moons cast an otherworldly glow over Harmony Spire, Jake and Zara stood atop an observation platform, gazing at the stars. "Your home is out there somewhere," Zara mused, her antennae swaying gently in the warm breeze. Jake nodded, a lump forming in his throat. "I wonder if they're still looking for me." Zara's violet eyes shimmered with empathy. "We'll find a way to contact them, Jake. I promise." Their moment was interrupted by a commotion below. Dr. Silo burst onto the platform, his usual calm demeanor shattered. "We've detected something," he exclaimed. "A signal, unlike anything we've ever seen." Jake's heart raced. "From Earth?" Haxila shook his head. "No, it's coming from deep space, and it's heading this way." The next few hours were a flurry of activity. Jake found himself in the heart of the Lizari Command Center, surrounded by holographic displays showing the approaching anomaly. "It's massive," Zara breathed, her fingers dancing over the living control panel. "At least 3 times the size of our largest city ship." As the object drew closer, details began to emerge. It wasn't a ship, at least not in any conventional sense. It appeared to be a swirling mass of energy and matter, constantly shifting and reorganizing itself. "By the cosmic core," Haxilo whispered, "it's alive." Suddenly, a booming voice filled their minds, bypassing all known communication channels. "Greetings, CHI Dorian of VSTS. We are THENEXUS. We AAVCOM to JDGE." The entire planet seemed to tremble under the psychic weight of the message. Jake exchanged alarmed glances with Zara and Kasila. Judge what?" Jake asked, his voice barely a whisper. As if in response, tendrils of energy shot out from the Nexus, enveloping both Harmony Spire and Jake's crashed ship. In an instant, Jake felt his mind being probed, his memories and experiences laid bare. Beside him, he could sense Zara and the other Lizari undergoing the same invasive examination. After what felt like an eternity, the voice spoke again. "We have ESAEN your past, your PRESENT, and your potential for future years. You stand at 8 CROSSROADS, HLYSAI, and human. Your unexpected union has created right PLEs across the cosmos." Images flooded their minds, countless alien civilizations rising and falling, galaxies colliding, the very fabric of reality twisting in ways Jake couldn't comprehend. "The bond you have FLOGED," the Nexus continued, "has the power to reshape the destiny of 1,000 worlds. But with great potential comes great danger." The visions shifted, showing dark futures where Earth and Lissar Prime were locked in devastating interstellar war, their conflicts spreading like a cancer across the galaxy. "No," Jake shouted, both aloud and in his mind. "That's not who we are. That's not what we want." Zara's cool hand found his, their fingers intertwining. "We choose cooperation," she declared firmly. "We choose understanding." The Nexus pulsed, its swirling form seeming to consider their words. "Brave words, young ones. But words alone are not enough. You must be tested." Without warning, Jake felt himself being torn away from Harmony Spire. The world around him blurred and shifted. When his vision cleared, he found himself standing on a desolate planetoid, the nexus looming overhead like a second sun. Zara materialized beside him, looking as disoriented as he felt. Before them stood a shimmering portal, beyond which they could see Earth, beautiful, blue, and achingly familiar to Jake. "Human," the nexus boomed. "You may return to your world. All knowledge of the ELYSARI will be erased from your mind. You will resume your life as if this encounter never happened." Jake's heart ached at the thought of home, of seeing his family again. But the price? Or, he managed to ask, "Or you may choose to remain with the ELYSARI. But NNOTS, your decision will shape the fate of both your pupils. Choose wisely." Jake turned to Zara, seeing the conflict in her alien eyes. He knew she wouldn't ask him to stay, wouldn't put that burden on him. But as he looked at her, he realized something profound. "I don't need to choose," Jake said, his voice growing stronger. "Because it's not about choosing one world over another. It's about bringing them together." He faced the nexus, standing tall. "You say our unexpected bond has the power to reshape destinies. Then let it reshape them for the better. Let us be the bridge between our peoples, between all peoples." Zara stepped forward, her hand still in Jake's. "We reject your test," she declared. "We choose a third path, one of unity, of shared knowledge and mutual growth." For a long moment, the nexus was silent. Then, to their astonishment, it began to laugh, a sound that resonated through the cosmos itself. "Well played, Eldroyan of two worlds. You have so you are exceed our expectations." The desolate landscape around them melted away, revealing the familiar surroundings of Harmony's spire. But they weren't alone. To their shock, they saw a group of humans, Jake's rescue team, who had been searching for him all this time. "We detected the energy surge and followed it here," Captain Sarah Chen explained, her eyes wide as she took in the alien city. "Jake, you've made first contact." As humans and Lizari regarded each other with a mixture of awe and trepidation, the voice of the Nexus echoed one last time. "The Pathid UAV Chihosen is FRAGJT with CHLENGs, but it is also filled with infinite possibilities. Go forth, JK and Zara, ambassadors of ANUH. The JLXY awaits." With that, the Nexus vanished, leaving behind a stunned silence. Jake looked at Zara, then at his fellow humans, a smile spreading across his face. "Well," he said, "I guess we have some introductions to make." As humans and Lizari began to cautiously interact, Jake felt a profound sense of hope. The journey ahead would be difficult, filled with cultural misunderstandings, political hurdles, and the vast gulfs of space. But they had taken the first step towards a united future, one where the best of both worlds could flourish together. The unexpected bond between an alien girl and a human had indeed created ripples across the cosmos. Now it was up to them to turn those ripples into waves of positive change, ushering in a new era of galactic cooperation and discovery. Little did they know, this was just the beginning of an adventure that would span stars, challenge the very nature of reality, and redefine what it meant to be a citizen of the cosmos. Quantum entanglement, the integration of humans and Lizari, proved to be as challenging as it was exhilarating. Months after the Nexus encounter, Earth and Lissar Prime had established their first joint colony on a neutral planet they named Harmony. Jake and Zara found themselves at the center of this unprecedented interspecies collaboration, working tirelessly to bridge the gap between their two civilizations. One fateful day, as Jake and Zara were overseeing the construction of a revolutionary quantum communication array, alarms blared across the colony. "Unidentified object entering the system," a voice crackled over the comms. It's massive." Racing to the control center, Jake and Zara, were met with a sight that sent chills down their spines. A colossal structure, easily the size of a small moon, had appeared at the edge of their solar system. Its surface was a maze of geometric patterns that seemed to defy the laws of physics, constantly shifting and realigning. By the cosmic core, Zara breathed. It's a Dyson sphere. Jake's eyes widened. But that's impossible. The energy requirements alone would be. Their debate was cut short as a holographic projection materialized in the center of the room. The being that appeared was unlike anything they had ever encountered, a swirling vortex of energy in vaguely humanoid form. Greetings, children of flesh and crystal, the entity's voice resonated in their minds. I am Zerath, custodian of the Cosmic Library. We have been watching your alliance with great interest. Jake stepped forward, his heart pounding. We're honored, Zerath, but why reveal yourself to us now? The energy being's form pulsed with what might have been amusement, because, Jake Martinez of Earth and Zara of Lissar Prime, you have achieved something remarkable. Your bond, your alliance, has created a unique quantum resonance that echoes across the multiverse. Holographic displays sprang to life around them, showing mind-bending visualizations of parallel realities. In each one, variations of Jake and Zara existed, their lives intertwined in countless ways. You stand at a nexus point, Zerath continued. Your actions here will ripple across all realities. The Cosmic Library has deemed you worthy of a great gift and a grave responsibility. A small crystalline object materialized before them. It pulsed with an inner light that seemed to bend reality around it. This is a quantum core, Zerath explained. It contains the accumulated knowledge of 1 billion civilizations across 1 trillion realities. With it, you could solve your world's greatest problems, or unleash chaos beyond imagining. Jake and Zara exchanged glances, the weight of this moment not lost on them. Why us? Zara asked. Because you have proven that unexpected bonds can transcend the boundaries of species, of planets, of realities themselves. You are the bridge builders, the paradigm shifters. But beware, there are those who would use this power for their own ends. As if on cue, the colony's defenses lit up. A fleet of sleek, predatory ships had entered the system, their designs unlike anything in human or Lissari records. The Void Consortium, Zerath's voice held a note of concern. Interdimensional pirates who seek to plunder the knowledge of the Cosmic Library. They must not acquire the quantum core. Chaos erupted as the Void Consortium ships opened fire. The colony's shields held, but barely. Jake's mind raced, years of tactical training kicking in. Zara, the quantum communication array. If we can modify it to amplify the core's power, we could create a dimensional barrier. Zara finished, her antennae quivering with excitement. But we'd need to interface directly with the core. Jake nodded grimly. It's risky, but we don't have a choice. As battles raged in orbit and on the ground, Jake and Zara worked feverishly to modify the array. Human ingenuity and Lissari crystal tech merged in ways never before imagined. Finally, with the enemy at their doorstep, they were ready. Remember, Zerath warned, the core will amplify your thoughts, your very essence. Your bond must be strong enough to withstand its power. Jake took Zara's hand, marveling at how natural it felt now. Together, he asked. Zara's violet eyes met his. Always. They placed their free hands on the quantum core. Instantly, their minds were catapulted across the multiverse. They saw countless versions of themselves, allies, enemies, lovers, strangers. The sheer weight of possibility threatened to overwhelm them. But through it all, their bond held. Human determination and Lissari adaptability intertwined, creating something entirely new. They were no longer simply Jake and Zara, but a bridge between realities. With a thought, they activated the array. A shimmering barrier of pure quantum energy expanded outward, engulfing the planet, the system, and beyond. The Void Consortium ships sparked and vanished, banished to the spaces between dimensions. As the power subsided, Jake and Zara found themselves back in the control room, breathless and forever changed. The quantum core pulsed softly, now irrevocably linked to them. Zirath's form shimmered with approval. "You have done well, quantum bridges, but this is only the beginning. The multiverse has taken notice of your potential. There will be those who seek to aid you, and those who would destroy you." Jake looked at Zara, seeing the same mix of excitement and trepidation he felt reflected in her alien features. "So what now?" he asked. "Now," Zirath replied, "you learn, you grow, you become the guardians not just of your worlds, but of the very fabric of reality itself." As Zirath's form faded, Jake and Zara turned to face the colony's stunned population, humans and Lizari united in awe of what they'd just witnessed. "Well," Jake said with a nervous chuckle, "I guess we should call an interspecies council meeting. We've got a lot to discuss." Zara squeezed his hand, a gesture that now carried the weight of infinite possibilities. "Indeed we do, Quantum Bridger. Indeed we do." As news of their transformation spread across both Earth and Lissar Prime, Jake and Zara knew that the true adventure was just beginning. They had started as an alien girl and a human thrown together by cosmic chance. Now they stood as the protectors of a multiverse they were only beginning to understand. The unexpected bond that had started it all had become something far greater, a beacon of hope for countless realities, a bridge between the infinite strands of existence. And as they looked to the star-filled sky, now teeming with new possibilities, Jake and Zara knew that their greatest challenges and their greatest triumphs lay ahead. Echoes of infinity. 5 years had passed since Jake and Zara became the Quantum Bridges, guardians of the multiverse. Their legend had spread across galaxies, inspiring hope and fear in equal measure. The colony on Harmony had grown into a thriving metropolis, a shining example of human Lissari cooperation. But with great power came great responsibility and great danger. Jake stood before the Interdimensional Council, a gathering of beings from across realities. His once youthful face now bore the subtle lines of a man who had seen wonders and horrors beyond imagining. Beside him, Zara's blue skin shimmered with an otherworldly light, her antennae pulsing with quantum energy. "The chronofracture is spreading," Jake announced, his voice carrying the weight of countless worlds. "If we don't act soon, entire timelines will collapse." Murmurs of concern rippled through the assembly. A being of pure light, representing the Photon Collective, spoke up. "What do you propose, Bridges?" Zara stepped forward, activating a holographic display. "We've detected a nexus point, a moment in time where the fracture can be sealed, but it will require a sacrifice." The holo image showed a swirling vortex of temporal energy, at its center 2 figures, unmistakably Jake and Zara. "To close the fracture," Jake explained, his voice tight with emotion, "we must enter the vortex and unwrite our own history. Our bond, the very thing that made us quantum bridges, must be erased." Gasps and cries of protest filled the chamber. The unexpected bond between an alien girl and a human had reshaped the cosmos. To undo it seemed unthinkable. But before the council could debate further, alarms blared. A massive ship had appeared in orbit, its design a nightmarish fusion of organic and mechanical parts. "The Entropy Collective," Zara breathed, her violet eyes wide with fear. "They found us." Chaos erupted as the Collective, beings dedicated to unraveling the very fabric of reality, launched their assault. Jake and Zara sprang into action, their movements perfectly synchronized after years of shared consciousness. "We need to get to the quantum core," Jake shouted over the din of battle. "It's our only chance to stop them." As they raced through the streets of Harmony, now a battleground of clashing realities, Jake couldn't help but reflect on how far they'd come. What had started as a crash landing on an alien world had led to this: 2 beings, once separated by the gulf of space, now united as protectors of all existence. They reached the Quantum Spire, the massive structure housing the Cosmic Library's gift. But the Entropy Collective had beaten them there. A figure stood before the core, its form constantly shifting between states of matter. Ah, the famous bridges. The being's voice was a cacophony of discordant frequencies. How fitting that you should witness the end of all things. Kylith, Zara growled, recognizing the collective's leader. Step away from the core. Kylith laughed, a sound that sent shivers through multiple dimensions. You still don't understand, do you? Your precious bond, the very thing you seek to preserve, is an aberration. A cosmic hiccup that must be erased. You're wrong, Jake retorted, his hand finding Zara's. Our bond proves that differences can be overcome, that unexpected connections can reshape destiny. Brave words, Silas sneered, but ultimately meaningless. The entity raised a writhing appendage, preparing to strike the core. Time seemed to slow as Jake and Zara exchanged a look of perfect understanding. In that moment, they knew what had to be done. Moving as one, they lunged forward, their bodies interposing between Xylith and the core. As they made contact with the crystalline surface, a blinding light erupted, engulfing them, Xylith, and the entire chamber. Jake felt his consciousness expanding, merging with Zora's and spreading across the multiverse. They saw the entirety of existence laid out before them, every possibility, every timeline, every choice that had led to this moment. And they saw the solution. With a thought that resonated across realities, Jake and Zara rewrote the cosmic equation. They didn't erase their bond, they amplified it, extending its harmonizing influence to every corner of the multiverse. The chronofracture sealed itself as timelines realigned. The entropy collective, that very purpose now antithetical to the fabric of reality, unraveled into nothingness. When the light faded, Jake and Zara found themselves standing in a transformed chamber. The quantum core had expanded, becoming a swirling nexus of infinite possibilities. What did we do? Jake asked, his voice filled with awe. Zara's antennae quivered with newfound awareness. We didn't just save our reality, Jake. We saved all realities. Our bond has become the cosmic constant, the force that holds the multiverse together. As the dust settled and the citizens of Harmony emerged from shelter, they were greeted by a sky filled with shimmering portals, gateways to countless worlds and realities, all harmonized by the unexpected bond between an alien girl and a human. Jake turned to Zara, seeing the infinity of existence reflected in her violet eyes. So, what now, partner? We saved the multiverse. Hard to top that. Zara's laughter was like music across dimensions. Oh, my dear quantum bridger, this isn't the end. It's just the beginning. Hand in hand, Human and Lissari, Jake and Zara stepped towards the transformed core. The multiverse awaited, filled with new wonders to explore, new civilizations to connect, and new bonds to forge. That unexpected journey had started with a crash landing on a distant world. Now, it would continue across the infinite tapestry of existence itself. For in saving all realities, Jake and Zara had ensured that the greatest adventure of all, the power of connection across all boundaries, would echo through eternity. As they took their first step into the new multiverse, a thought passed between them, a promise that spanned galaxies and transcended time. Together always. And the cosmos itself seemed to smile in response.